Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the MarketSite studio, we have Dr. Merav Ozair, global blockchain and cryptocurrency expert, to discuss regulation around AI, which seems to be everyone's favorite topic these days. Merav, artificial intelligence. Why is AI important to the existence and scalability of the metaverse?
Well, if you think about it, AI is going to be everywhere, and it's going to affect every product and every service. I think that this is also something that Tim Cook has mentioned, about a few weeks ago. He said that they using AI is very essential and something that they're going to use in every product and every service that they're going to provide. And that's even what Zuckerberg was talking about. It's everywhere. If you think about it, if you command AI, you command the metaverse and everything and every product and every service that we can imagine in our life.
Right. Well, what are some of the challenges with AI integration in the metaverse?
Well, if you think about it, if AI is going to really, let's put it this way. The metaverse can exist without the AI. But for that to be really, what we envision, like in the science fiction, movies, when, it can do all kinds of great things, then you need the AI. Because, for example, the multilingual, right? You want people to come from all over the world. How are they going to communicate? I'm not going to have a translator, someone in my ear, going to tell me, and you want it to be seamlessly. So you're going to have this AI that's going to do it like in a conversation type of way, that we're going to talk, I'm going to speak, Hindu, and you're going to speak Spanish, and we're still going to understand each other. And that's the idea. And that's one of it. Also, if you think about it, AI is capable in creating avatars that are going to look more real in terms of our characters and how our facial impressions, emotions, how we look. It's going to be like completely, like a replica of you if you want to. So these are things that we can only be able to do if you're going to incorporate AI to that.
What are some of the challenges of how we support AI from an ethical perspective, right? Because the input is, you have to worry about ethics, you have to worry about biases that go into it. What does that look like? How are we going to support that?
Yes, this is going to be very challenging, not just for the metaverse, but AI in general. There are already all kinds of, in fact, lawsuits that people already started, putting out there that relates to AI and generative AI. For example, copyrights, right? You have Roblox, if you know that the game so they said that they're going to also incorporate AI within, how you're going to create, your skins and creators and for developers, to help them. Now the question is, okay, is that fair use? Well, that's, what Google was claiming when they were training, the algorithm for the search, because it's fair use, because it's out there, but I'm not really using it in a sense that I'm replicating something. I'm just, using it to collect the data and training my model so it will search better. And then, you have, and even when they give you like a paper or something, they only give you like a short quote, right? It's not like the entire, script, is coming up if you know with Google. So for that issue, it's okay. But now there's a lawsuit going on that relates to copyright with a company that does all this AI. And basically what they say is that, all these creations that you have today, photos and images that you have to buy for them. There's all kinds of galleries that like a stock photos,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you have to buy that, but this AI can create those as if you probably will not need to buy them. But that is a problem of one. It could not be fair use.
Right. But here's the whole thing. Part of the story behind the metaverse is it's all driven by content creators and users, right? So then, should AI be regulated? Can it even be regulated? What does that even look like? Because in theory, we should not be dependent on Web 2.0 platforms like Google, like Apple, like Microsoft, who are the conduits for content creation.
Right.
Content creators like you and I can do it organically.
Right. So therefore, I think that if we want that to happen, that it's not going to be, so one thing is you say, okay, so let's leave it like, in the web, in our era of the Web 2, in the hands of the companies, and let them, put the policies and make sure, that everything is going or not going the right way. But if we don't want that, then it has to be somewhat regulated. Somewhat it has to protect, the copyrights of artists, the creators. I mean, I can, just, and now there's a lot of litigations are not going on already. If if you can even use all these images that you have to train a model, maybe that also has to be, you have to pay for it. Okay, they'll get a license for that. So we have to protect the creators. And also, if you think about it, okay, let's say there's a creation that created in the metaverse. Is that really a creation, or is it an AI? So there was all kinds of, something that was saying that if something was created by an AI and it's not really a kind of like a creation of a human,
right,
then it's not actually, has any rights.
So for example, if ChatGPT, right,
Yeah.
everyone's somewhat familiar with that term. If I go in there and I say, I type something in ChatGPT, write this poem
Right.
about XYZ, does ChatGPT own that, or is it Jill Malandrino's piece of
So
work?
I think that as of now, from what I've seen from at least some, lawsuits that came out there, that because an AI created it and there was no, you just gave it, okay, write, I don't know, a love song, okay, and you didn't really actually wrote it yourself, and a machine created that, then you don't have any rights like an artist who actually wrote the book or something like that. So because it was machine created,
Right.
and as of now, but the question is do you have the right even to create that if it was trained on all kinds of data of other poems of artists and,
Right.
and authors, etc. That's the issue. Do you need to get a license for that?
And which is so interesting, because then do you fall back into the Web 2.0 trap where Google and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, they're the arbiters, they're the conduits of content. Do these AI platforms become the next arbiters of that?
That's a question. I mean, this is why there's so many litigations right now that are happening with generative AI, with artists coming and asking for that, and there has to be some kind of standards, what can or cannot do. And I think in that case that I told you about, it could be that it's very likely that the court will decide, the judge will decide that if you even train with authentic, authors or artists, or whether it's the images or the content, then you have to get a license. Because it's not, because if you're creating something similar to what they're going, that kind of like imitating them, or something similar to that poem, to that book, to that image, and you're training it, you have to get a license. And the other thing that I thought about, I'm going to write another article coming soon, which hopefully going to be published on Nasdaq, which is exactly talking about that. How can you differentiate between something that was actually written by you, you're writing now a dissertation, that it's really authentic, it's your dissertation, or someone who generated a similar dissertation to yours by AI? How can you differentiate between that? So yeah, you can do this kind of investigation, et cetera, et cetera. But what if we don't want to do that investigation? Why the onus is on us? It shouldn't be. The onus should not be on the receiver of the information. The onus should be on whoever sent the information, or the ones who actually creating this algorithm, right? So I would suggest that the algorithm itself, once it's to kind of like spit out, that poem or dissertation or whatever that is, it will come with a mark.
Right.
That will say generated by AI, that you know this is a machine generated and not authentic from a person, from a human. It has to be something like that, because otherwise we're going to go insane.
As if we're not insane with what we're dealing with the Web 2.0 world. All right, well, we will look forward to that article, Merav. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.